Good evening, everyone. This is Shobhit Singhal, the transformer, author's coach, reader's coach, and I'm doing a lot of things these days. But in the last 2 months, I was fortunate enough to come in contact with the one and only Mr. Raghesh Menon.
Yeah.
Now, Mr. Raghesh Menon comes with 20 plus years of experience in corporate. He was working for TCS, then he became he was an engineer. Then he came into as a consultant. Finally, he chose the path of being an entrepreneur. And since last 3 years, he has been part of, not part, he was the founder of Scoopin.com. It is the on-demand marketplace for trainers. He is the king, he is the queen, he is the prince of training industry. He knows in and out everything that happens in training industry. Recently, in the last 2 months, he has been responsible for giving the world's largest WhatsApp training that happened for over 40, I would say 50 plus trainers. That is an amazing ultimate achievement any professional can have. And I was very fortunate that I was one of them. And it is a pleasure. It is an honor to have him on my small YouTube channel. And it is very thank you so much for doing this. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so much for coming on this show, sir. How do you feel?
Thanks. Thank you so much, Shobhit. And I'm really inspired and to be with you in this particular show because I have seen you grow. At least, we have not known each other for many years, so to say, but at least
Yes.
from whatever we have known for last few months, I've
Correct,
seen
sir.
you growing, right?
Yes.
And I remember you had come to one of my programs also. In between, you had asked so many number of
Yes.
questions. I
Mhm.
understand you as a person who's
Mhm.
very inquisitive in nature and who grows. And
Mhm.
I've seen you growing from that level to being a voracious reader, coming out, inspiring people to read. So I
Mhm.
also feel privileged to be with you in this particular show. Thank you so much for that, and thanks for the nice introduction.
Thank you so much, sir. It is, I would say that I started my initiative of book reading from a small, but your platform, Scoopin, gave me wings to my initiative. And I could take my trainings to so many people. And that day, actually, I got inspired. We'll talk about that later. But
Sure.
let me just, so before I start anything, there are a lot of things I wanted to discuss: training industry, challenges, COVID-19, trainers, all those things I want to discuss with you.
Yeah.
The first question that I also always ask myself in the training, also I did that. I always start with why, the Simon
Mm,
Sinek concept, and I always ask myself, why am I doing this? Why
mm,
I'm starting initiative? So I wanted
mm.
to ask you. You are an engineer. You have been into technology. You have been into consulting, entrepreneur. Finally, you ended up in training industry. So why training industry? What drive you toward the industry of training?
See, I got my job in early 2000, right?
Hmm. Yes.
2001, I joined TCS,
Okay.
and TCS was a big company, and even at that point of time, it's just that it was not public, but otherwise it was already at the scale of Infosys and Wipro.
Hmm.
And I was into second year of my career as a
Hmm.
technologist, and I was doing the coding, right? Like
Hmm.
any other technologist, I was doing my coding,
Hmm.
and I always had this ambition of scaling up very fast in the organization, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I wanted to jump my career from technology to management very fast. So I
Hmm.
went and I asked for some training in that respect. Hmm?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
unfortunately, what happened was, if like every company, it has got a stage at which you will be taken to the next level. You
Correct,
have
correct.
to work in a technology company. You have to work for at least 5 years, 6 years as a technologist before you migrate yourself to the next level. I mean, that's the norm, and that's to be very fair with the company as well, right? That's why they have hired you. So,
Correct.
but for me personally, it was a difficult time because I didn't get the kind of training which I was looking for at that point of time. Ample technology trainings are available, but my flair, my instinct, my inclination was more towards management. I wanted to really take some training in that respect. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, at that point of time, in second year, employee, nobody would give a management training, right?
Hmm.
And that by itself was not a big deal because I always had a lot of years ahead of me to do that. But then it prompted me to think one thing, that if such a big company has got a problem in solving the
Hmm.
knowledge seekness or knowledge seeking request of an
Hmm.
employee, then
Hmm.
what would be the case outside? Like, if
Correct.
if if such a company with a lot of infrastructure has got a problem, then
Hmm.
definitely the entire industry might be unorganized. That
Hmm.
was my assumption, right?
Correct.
And from there I started thinking about this industry as such, and I started following this industry very closely. But because I was not an entrepreneurial material at that point of time, and because we, like many of us, I was not from a business background, born in a business family, so I had to wait for my time to come, and it took me about 15 years after that to ready myself as an entrepreneur, right? So, but this 15 years, what happened was this idea grew slowly, 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 and grew with me. And when I was ready about 3 years back, when I brushed up this whole idea, I did my own research to figure out what my assumptions are good, stays same or not. And I was really astonished that yes, my assumptions were not only correct but got amplified to a very, very different level. And it gave me so much insight about what's happening incorrectly in the industry that I had to plunge into it and take a lead role onto it. So that's what it is.
Well, I would say that I'm glad that happened because trainers like me are getting an amazing opportunity because of you.
Now, I'll give you some more insights into it, right?
Yeah.
On July 4th, 2017, when I decided to start the startup of and the thought process of Scoopin the idea of Scoopin came up. The first thing that I did was I did my own research on existing papers which were already presented, right? So there were 10 research 2012, and there was Kotak, research reports, and then so many other reports. And these two reports are primarily because this was done in Indian context, research on Indian training industry, right?
Correct.
So I happened to go through those research reports, and some of the numbers were mind-boggling. During that time, in 2012, when the research was done, the size of Indian training industry was estimated to be around $2 billion, right? And expected size of Indian training industry to grow by 2020, which is the year that we are standing right now. This was expected to be $20 billion. In some estimates, it was $32 billion potential industry, right?
Correct.
Now years have passed, and we are there right in the middle of 2020, right? And I don't see it happening. Okay.
Correct.
So it was projected way back 8 years back, and if things were going right, we should have been there, right? $32 billion industry is not a small industry to say. And today, a rough estimate says that the North American market is the biggest training market, right?
Correct.
And it fetches about nothing less than $100 to $150 billion. And we are talking about somewhere around $5 to $6 billion, maybe max $10 billion. So we are not even 1/10 of the North American market, where if you see the number of people in North American market is 1/4 of Indian population, or we have 4 times the population, like as of, but we are 1/10 of the market, not even 1/10, maybe even lesser than that, right?
Correct.
World over, this entire industry fetches around $350 billion, the knowledge industry. So where are we standing? And do we deserve this? Is the first question that comes.
Correct.
So 3 years back, I penned down my thoughts about Indian training industry on LinkedIn, and today that's one of the most trending articles in LinkedIn. If you go to Google and type Indian training industry, my blog will come in the top 3, right? So that's the importance of that subject. It's not because I wrote it that it is on the top, because I'm not an avid blogger, right? But I wrote that subject 3 years back, and people are still reading it. The relevance is too high, which is why it is trending top in the Google when you look out for Indian training industry.
Yeah, correct.
So that is the opportunity, and that's the gap as well. So there is no reason for me not to do anything about it. And being an entrepreneur myself, I have to find a place where I can solve a problem, and I need to solve that. That's what fires as an entrepreneur, right? So for me, it was a natural choice to come to training as an industry. And I myself am a trainer, right? I'm an accomplished business trainer. I do training for trainers on sales, marketing, and business building. So I basically I metamorphosed myself or molded myself completely as a trainer to become one of the entrepreneurs in that area. Yeah.
Correct. So when you said that the Indian economy, the training industry was supposed to be risen towards $20 billion, as you said.
$32 billion actually.
32 billion, and it is not even, I would say, not even 25% today. 6 billion, as you said.
Yeah,
So yeah.
because nobody has done a calculation of it, but we can fairly say
uh,
that it's not that
yeah.
much. Because if it was that much,
Mhm. Yeah,
then
yeah.
during this COVID period, government
Mhm.
would have definitely released something special for
Mhm.
that particular industry.
Mhm.
So these are indications, right?
Yes.
Nobody really cares. Nobody really cares about the amount of jobs which is cut down in the training industry.
Correct.
Nobody talks about training industry per
Yes,
se, right?
exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, these are indications.
So, Rajesh sir, one thing I have, in my own experience, what I have seen in training industry is very, very unorganized. Like if you look at all the other industries, for example, if I want to get a job in manufacturing, I can filter out the results, I can apply with the company, and I can go ahead with that. But in any other technological job, anything, any industry you talk about, it's very structured. Everything is
Yeah.
settled. In training industry, still, let's say pre-COVID-19 period till January also, trainers were struggling to reach out to the right company, or the
Hmm.
company was struggling to reach out to the right trainer. So still, it's been years since internet has come in. We all have become more sensible. Technology has come in, but still, Indian industry, training industry, is still struggling with that one component. Why do you think this challenge is Indian industry, training industry is still facing until today? Why trainers are still struggling to make money? What do you think about that?
The whole purpose of me starting Scoopin.com,
Mm-hmm.
3 years back, was to
Mm-hmm.
fill this exact gap what you're told right now.
Exactly.
So there is a gap wherein if I am a good trainer
Mm-hmm.
and if I have a company next to my home, right, or
Yes.
apartment,
Mm-hmm.
I might be the right person for that particular training which he wants, but he doesn't know that I exist,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
And what the company does is, because he doesn't know that I exist, they spend a lot of money on travel and whatnot, get a person from another state to
Mm-hmm.
do the training here.
Exactly.
This captured is the industry right now, right? And this
Mm-hmm.
is an industry which runs currently purely based on references and
Exactly.
personal
Mm-hmm.
what do you say, connects. But that's
Correct.
not how an industry can be run,
Exactly.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you need a system for that. You
Mm-hmm.
need a system which will handle or connect the trainers with their primary and secondary market. Okay. And if you see Scoopin.com as a platform, what we are doing is we are the world's first on-demand and managed marketplace for the training industry.
Mm-hmm.
So what we do is we create one-on-one connect between the trainers and their primary and secondary market, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you say primary market, it's obviously the corporates, and secondary market means the training companies. Then
Correct. Correct.
there's a huge scope for the freelance trainers to do training for the public. Public
Mm-hmm.
becomes another consumer for
Correct.
trainers.
Correct.
Then
Correct.
there is government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then there are
Mm-hmm.
NGOs, and then there are
Mm-hmm.
educational institutes. So if you
Mm-hmm.
see, the market is huge, and
Mm-hmm.
you're talking about the commodity called knowledge, and that's
Correct.
the
Correct.
most valuable asset in the world right now, right? So
Correct.
we
Correct.
have come out of the industrial era. Now we are getting into the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge era, right?
Knowledge era. Yeah.
Everything is now going to be driven by knowledge, and
Yes.
there is nothing for us to believe that trainers don't have a future in, because
Correct.
trainers are carrying knowledge. When they carry knowledge as a thing, then it's all
Mm-hmm.
about commoditizing the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
putting a value for it, taking it to the
Mm-hmm.
right space, give that knowledge, and then get the transaction done from that end, right?
Correct.
So this is all
Yes.
business is all about. But
Yes.
unfortunately, the problem is this entire industry is driven by trainers
Mm-hmm.
who are not trained on uh, a core skill which will take them to
Mm-hmm.
the next level, which is marketing and sales. they
Exactly.
have
Exactly.
they're extremely good at their own
Mm.
their own topic, right? They come
Exactly.
with 15, 20, 25, 40 years of experience in
Mm-hmm.
the industry. Then they become the trainer because they have got so much to give. They can definitely give authentic contents
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and the right knowledge, skill.
Yeah.
But if they don't know how to sell themselves,
Mm-hmm.
then there is only that much that they can go to. After
Yeah.
that, someone has to help them out.
Yeah.
And that's where actually the whole if you see Scopin, Scopin is not a training company,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
Mm-hmm.
technology company. So we are
Exactly.
solving problem of trainers by
Mm-hmm.
connecting, using technology. We are connecting the trainers with their market, right?
Correct. Correct.
So that's how we bridge the gap. Yeah.
So, in fact, very rightly said, sales and marketing is the core of any trainer. In fact, I was all these books that I'm reading and I've read. Grant Cardone, Dan Locke, all these great trainers. The
Yeah,
main good thing about them is till
they're
date, like
all,
they are multi-billionaires, I would say.
yes,
Dan Locke is like at the peak. He has a private plane and all that. Still today, I get his emails. I am subscribed to his website. Still
yeah,
today, he's writes. He's a copywriter. So till date, he is doing a marketing. No matter I'm a client,
absolutely.
no matter I'm not, he doesn't. I don't know him. Still today, they are doing marketing. So I think the only lesson from your words, what I can understand is sales and marketing is the first element for any trainer today. You
First
have to
element.
market first.
So,
Then the question is what problem are you solving, what training are you providing, and all that. Also, one more thing I wanted to discuss, Ragesh, is that I know we didn't discuss that niche clarity. So
mm,
basically, every trainer, second trainer today, I see I'm a motivational speaker, I'm a
mm,
soft skill trainer,
yeah,
I'm a public speaker. There is my mentors who I reach out and I'm training. They all say niche is the most important thing. So you should
true.
know what problem you are solving. If you are a public speaker, everyone is a public speaker, but you have to have the right people and the right content to what you want to deliver, what problem you are solving. So what do you think, is that important, or you can be a motivational speaker and still make it big in this country? What do you think about that?
See, it's very simple. If you want to
Mm-hmm.
sell a product in the market, whether
Mm-hmm.
it is a trainer as a self,
Mm-hmm.
or their knowledge as a product, okay,
Mm-hmm.
or their recorded videos, or whatever you
Mm-hmm.
think, at the end of the day, if
Mm-hmm.
that product doesn't address a specific set of customers,
Correct.
to make it for everyone, nobody will buy for you. If you
Correct.
make it for someone, that someone will very likely buy your product, right?
Correct. Correct. Correct.
Because as a trainer, when you are giving solution, because as a trainer, what are you doing? You're solving a problem of that person by upskilling that person, right?
Exactly.
uh,
Exactly.
mm, and when you are upskilling, if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what problem he is going through, see, there are two
Mm-hmm.
things. One is the problem and the pain, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
Problem is at a very high level, like,
Mm-hmm.
you, what you
Mm-hmm.
see from outside is what problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Addressing a problem is not going to solve the problem. Addressing the
Exactly.
pain that the person is going through
Mm-hmm.
will solve the problem. That's how it
Exactly.
works.
Exactly.
So if you, how do you create a training for all the pains in the world? It's impossible, right? You
Exactly.
cannot do that. You can give a medicine for one particular disease. You
Correct.
cannot have
Correct. Correct.
one medicine for all the diseases.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it
Correct.
becomes very imperative for the person to understand
Mm-hmm.
how he finds his niche in the market.
Yes. Correct.
Yeah, very true. It is
Yeah.
important.
So, in fact,
I'll
now,
tell you. I'll tell you an
huh.
example. No,
Mm-hmm.
when I started Scoopin,
Yes.
uh, one of the biggest, the first thing that I solved for myself was to understand how what trainer goes through, right? So
Mm-hmm.
when a
Mm-hmm.
trainer goes through, he what he does, okay, he comes out of his glamorous career after 15, 20,
Mm-hmm.
25 years of
Mm-hmm.
experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 10 years of experience. Then what he does is he goes through a train the trainer program. That's the typical way of doing it, right?
Correct. Correct.
Once the TTT
Yes.
is completed, then he
Mm-hmm.
understands the elements of TTT.
Mm-hmm.
And because most of the TTT doesn't teach them how to do the marketing and sales part, so they are
Correct.
good in structuring the content and
Mm-hmm.
coming onto the stage speaking. All those things
Mm-hmm.
are taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, once that part is done with, then they get into the market, right? That is
Correct.
when they get
Correct.
stuck, right? So what
Correct.
I did was I put myself into that shoes. I
Mm-hmm.
went to a TTT. I tried to understand what TTT is, what they are teaching in that, what trainer
Mm-hmm.
goes through, right, to become a trainer.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went through it, I learned a lot of things, for how it needs to be done, and a lot of things which how it shouldn't be done, right?
Correct. Correct.
Then what I did was I became a trainer myself in the area of entrepreneurship.
Correct.
But
Correct.
when I did that, I was specializing in entrepreneurship training for trainers.
Exactly.
I was not an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneurship trainer for anyone and everyone outside. I was
Exactly.
focusing on trainers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is the niche which I created.
Yes.
It's
Exactly.
very important.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. So, coming to the hot topic, COVID-19. So, sir,
right.
I don't want to discuss too much about how it affected and everything, but one thing I want to compliment you, I would say that after COVID-19, we see a rise in the internet usage of training in the training industry. Everyone is doing webinars, everyone is connecting over internet, and a lot of internet has become the life capsule of training industry today, I would say.
True.
And
Very true.
you discovered this medicine in 2017 only, as you said that when you found Scoopin. Scoopin was a platform. It was never a company, as you said. It was never an office that you have to go find a resume. Okay, I'm a trainer. Please help me. It's a platform. It's a complete digital platform.
True.
And after COVID-19, there are, I think, 1,000 plus trainers are connected with you. If I'm not wrong, 1,000 plus trainers are connected with Scoopin.
In our WhatsApp group, we have got connects of 1,500.
Okay.
Then Facebook and LinkedIn. See, my LinkedIn itself has got more than 6,000 connects.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So it's a huge community. Like
Yes.
we believe in community.
Exactly.
And Facebook, I've never, to be very frank, I've never taken account of it.
Exactly.
Because it doesn't make any sense, right? And how difference it makes for whether it is 60, 600, 6,000 or 6 lakhs or 60 lakhs, right? Because at the end of the day, your objective is to make a difference in whoever you connect with. The number doesn't matter. The quality of connect that matters, and quality of impact that you make matters a lot. So frankly, I've not done it too much of thinking about the numbers. But one thing I know that Scoopin is for mass few set of trainers.
Exactly.
We want to impact as many trainers as possible, and that's how we define and design all our products. For example, if you see the master class, right? We conducted 45 master classes in 2 months, right?
Exactly.
And it started on 30th March and it ended on 28th of May, right?
Yes. Correct.
And during that time, we could have chosen a Zoom, right? Because that was a trending thing, right? Or Zoom or any of those Google Meetup or any of those things. But we didn't go. We went with a tougher way of doing it in WhatsApp. Yeah.
Correct.
It's rather a tough choice, right? If it was on a Zoom, it's a half an hour, 1 hour job and it's done. The rest of the day is for you. But here you have to do the delivery. Every trainer has to do the delivery right from 9 a.m. till whatever time it takes on WhatsApp. And you'll have to kind of manage it. And why did we do that? The reason why we did that way was because that's the only way we can impact all the trainers in our community. Because what goes into WhatsApp stays there. People take it up after dinner, after lunch, or maybe after a week, but it stays there. The content stays there.
Exactly.
Everything is made in small capsules of video. So video explains by itself in any case, right?
Correct.
So even today, after the 45 days of masterclass sessions, even today, people go back to what we have, taken. That's the beauty of how, we did it. If it was a Zoom, then it would have got forgotten by the time the Zoom session is over. Today, all the sessions are posted on our YouTube. All the sessions are there in Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever possible. We have taken it to for our masters. And our masters did a great job by coming out and doing it for free for the entire crowd, right? So 1,500 plus 45, 1,600 people got benefited from the whole initiative.
Correct.
Now, after that, since it's going on LinkedIn and Facebook, more people are getting benefited, and it never ends. The knowledge relevance is always there.
Correct. Yeah. So people who are watching, let me give a more information on this. Scoopin.com is as we have already explained, it's a training platform. If you are a trainer, please go today to the website, make a profile for yourself. Also connect with Mr. Menon. He's very humble and he's always approachable. What you need to do is there are multiple WhatsApp groups. Just get added in one of them. Lot of activities happen on Scoopin. I personally have got a lot of benefits. There's a gold members club also where you can have your own program, and Scoopin will help you marketing it, structuring it, and everything. So my personal suggestion is I'm not promoting anything. I'm just saying my own experience. I have been part of Menon sir initiative. I have been one of the trainers, and I know the power of his community, his reach. So if you are a trainer, as you said, sales and marketing, this is the first step you can take for yourself. So please do that. So that's very important. So Ragesh sir, coming to the initiative of WhatsApp training. So after this 45 trainings that happened over every single day, weekdays, and a lot of trainers also took part. Now most of them are part of the gold members. They are creating their own content, their own program, and I hope soon we are going to launch one of them. So what do you see? Where do you see Scoopin in the next 1 year, 3 year, 5 year? Where do you see the future of Scoopin.com? And where do you see the future of all these trainers who are part of the? What is the long-term goals, or let's say short-term goals of Scoopin? What do you think?
See, let me take it back one step to to explain the purpose of what we are going to do for future, right? So, if you see the trainers as a community, most of the trainers come out of a very successful career, and they have been earning good salary in their career. But why they come out and become a trainer? Because of their passion towards it, right? That's the only thing which drives, and they know that what they have is their knowledge, and they feel that they can do much more if they're on their own, so they come out. If you see the freelance trainers, right, the average occupation rate, so to say, of a freelance trainer is not more than 2 to 3 days in a month. Then if you're technical, if you have a niche, and if you are in the demand space, then obviously you get more trainings per day. But that's not the case with average soft skill trainers or the freelance trainers. Mostly the non-technical trainers, I'm telling.
Exactly.
Technical trainers are a little better off because they already have a niche and there is a market demand drives it, right? And we still don't know how many trainers are there in India overall. Nobody has been able to take a count of it.
Yes,
A rough estimate, after talking to many people, I understand that it could be somewhere around 2 to 3 lakhs, probably. Okay. A rough estimate, I'm telling, I have no data to validate it, substantiate it, but some numbers so that we can think about it, right? We can pivot on it. Now, 2 to 3 days of average occupancy is what drives this whole training industry. It is a very decently paid industry.
Per month?
Yeah, per month, 2 to 3 days.
My God.
Average, I'm saying.
That's too less. That's too less, I would say.
That's too less, and that's the reality. That's the reality, right? It might go up to maybe 5 days, but then many people, most of the trainers find it difficult to crack beyond that, right?
Yes.
And why they come to the training industry? Many people come because of pure passion. Many people come because of the money involved in it. Correct. If you're a very successful trainer, and if you are able to really make an impact to the corporate or whoever you are addressing, then there's a lot of money involved in it, right? And this is one industry where the same topic fetches 1,500 a day and can go up to 1,50,000 a day, right? It all depends on the trainer. It all depends on who you want to hire and who is giving the delivery. Now, with this many variables in hand, and 2 to 3 days, an average rate of a mid-senior trainer, I'm saying. I'm not talking about very successful trainer. I'm not talking about beginner. I'm talking about trainer who has been there in the industry for 5 to 10 years, right? Their earning potential is somewhere around 10 to 15,000 rupees a day. Good trainer, I'm saying. Okay, it can come down to 4,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees, which is what runs mostly in the industry. And there are people who cut the corners to bring it down to even 1,500 rupees, right?
Yeah.
Now with this number, if 2 to 3 days of occupancy is there, a trainer gets on an average, let's say 30 to 40,000 rupees in a month.
Correct.
That's what he's able to earn, not more than that. Okay, let's face the reality. Some months it might be more, some months it might be less.
Correct.
And God forbid, it's a scenario like COVID comes in, or some kind of recession comes in for some other reason, all these calculation goes in for a toss. Last 2 months, all these people, irrespective of their experience in the market, most of the people are sitting at home without a job. Okay? This is a painful scenario. And this is what Scoopin doesn't want to happen for the trainers. So what Scoopin has thought for is, let's build a possibility of passive income for the trainers. Okay, because it is we cannot afford to or expect a trainer to come up with great training programs when his pocket is completely washed off, right? If his bank balance is zero, and you cannot expect him to think in senses and come up with great contents, it doesn't happen, right? A lot of things are there which bothers him. So if we are able to get at least 20 to 30K in a month to their hands as a passive income, then the kind of growth that this industry will see will be unprecedented. because people will come into their senses. The trainers will be much more confident. Trainers will start expressing themselves with confidence. Their self-esteem will go up. Today, the self-esteem of the trainer as a community, unfortunately, pardon me in saying this, is the lowest, right? I have talked to many HRs who have turned to be trainers, and they tell the difference. When they are an HR, they're on the other side, right? And the way they used to look upon a trainer, and when they themselves become a trainer, how they are seeing, how they regret why they looked upon a trainer at some point of time, like that, right? So this gap has to change. So Scoopin is coming up with 2 plans for that. One, we want to move all the trainers from 2-pager CV to a smart digital profiling system.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
So that we are already working on. And in our gold membership, as you told, every trainer will get a website, a mini website built under Scoopin. So which means the trainers who are not able to afford to create a website and manage it, they don't need to worry. With our subscription, it's already taken care of. And everything is updated. All their past events, current events, future events, all their blogs. We encourage trainers to write blogs because we believe trainers have so much to write. They say so much. Why they can't write, right? There's no platform to bring it out all. So now with our platform, a lot of trainers have started writing blogs. And these are the asset of trainers. And what we are doing is, with our system, we are enabling a asset creation for the trainers, and thus they don't need to worry about their 2-pager CV. Now their portfolio will work for them, right? This is number one. Second thing, we understand that the future is for digital. People who are not in digital space, they are going to miss out a lot, right? And not every trainer can afford to be on YouTube and other channels always. So what we have done is, we have come up with a beautiful idea of creating converting the content of a trainer to small video courses, right?
Yes.
And we are shortly coming up with Trainers Academy, Scoopin's Trainers Academy, where all the trainers will be able to publish their videos, in course format. And we together, working with the trainer, we will be trying to sell it into the market, right? And if we can start creating passive income out of it, we have won a battle, right?
Exactly.
And that's the immediate goal for Scoopin. And I wouldn't want to waste my time by thinking about what is the long term, because let it happen when it happens. But for us, what matters is what happens right now. And we are working very hard. The entire team is working hard. The trainers are giving their best, support for that. And I believe coming months are going to make a difference for the trainers community.
Right. So, Ragesh sir, on this topic, last question is: if I'm a trainer and I'm struggling to make money, and I'm struggling to have more clients, I'm struggling to, I have good content, good knowledge, good experience. 3 advice, what you will tell me on my face, blunt and honest advice. If I'm a trainer, I'm lost. 3 things, what you will tell me.
Okay. First thing first, I would say, being a trainer, don't be in a hurry to take the training.
Exactly.
Get trained.
Exactly.
Get trained on specific skills. And I'm pointing to marketing and sales, right? As a skill. Acquire that. Because when you are a trainer, you are an institution by yourself. You are an organization by yourself. It's just that you don't have all that, what you say, the team with you to start with. You will start as an individual, right? But at the end of the day, you have to run a business. So whether you're an individual or a team, ultimately the formula to run the business is all same. You have to have a product, you have to sell it, you have to make money out of it, right? So learn the techniques of how sales, marketing, and business building happen. That's the first thing that I would suggest. Okay. Content, your product is secondary, because you can take it up any point of time in future. Okay. That is one. Second is drive yourself crazy in the market, in the sense, go and start taking sessions.
Exactly.
Don't start looking out for money. Start looking out for audience. Because over a period of time, you will definitely find the ways and means to kind of segment your target market and see once you learn the tricks and trades of selling and marketing, you'll know how to make money out of it.
Correct,
But
correct.
don't stay at home thinking that someone will come and bring you the audience or opportunities. It never happens. You have to go
Correct.
out for that. Do extensive networking, do things for free to start with, and don't make it a habit. You have to stop somewhere, but do things for free so that you can learn from your interaction with them. Don't try to capitalize on your initial set of people who are ready to support you.
Correct,
Get your,
correct.
if required, get your family in front of you and do a delivery with them. They might not understand head and tail of what you're trying to tell, but it's okay. You start off wherever you can, right?
Correct, correct, correct.
Wherever you are, you make that as your office and start working towards it.
Correct,
That's my
correct.
second suggestion. Okay, don't wait for the market to come to you. And third suggestion I would definitely say is have a community of yourself. Whatever may be the topic that you are trying to take, always there is a community associated with it. Because in the search of trying to make a community for yourself, you will fine tune your quest as to what problem you want to solve.
Exactly.
You cannot make a community without a problem being tried to and trying to address the problem. So obviously, making a community itself will be an exercise for you to fine tune your assumptions and come to the problem, singularize, crack it, and also solve it. Right. So you need to have a community to go with. If you these three things are there, your content will start working for you by default, and that's there with you. That's what you are, right? Your content is what you are, right?
Yes, correct. Correct.
And that's it. Do a lot of research. I mean, further to it, if you ask me, a lot of research in terms of not in terms of continuing to take knowledge on your head, again and again, and don't do that. Take as much as you need and implement that in 10 different places. Then you come back, acquire little knowledge. So it is always said, very simple secret of your life is, if you know one truth to the core, and if you implement that one truth to the core, then every single thing will get attached by itself. You don't need to go behind the knowledge. Knowledge will come to you, but you have to stick to one thing that you believe and which is your philosophy, your life philosophy, where your talent lies, where your skills lies, the competency lies, your capability lies, and your belief system lies. Work on that area. Okay, don't worry about whether there is a market for that or not. Everything has got a market at the end of the day in this world. Everything. Everyone has got an audience to hear. No matter what level of knowledge you are, it doesn't matter. If you need to teach a kindergarten child, okay, just because you have a PhD, you can't do that, right?
Correct.
So it's not the amount of knowledge which matters; it's the application of knowledge which matters,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
So to teach a kindergarten student, you don't need to learn the entire world's wisdom. You just need to learn what they need and just solve their problem.
Exactly.
So everyone has got a market in that respect. So that's the point where I want to drive things to.
I would say these were the three golden mantras for any trainer. I'm so glad that you mentioned all these, and I got thinking, okay, am I doing this right or not in my own life? So
I'm sure you would have ticked at least 2-3. You would have ticked by now.
I think that's an amazing answer. I cannot imagine anyone putting it in a better words. So kudos, sir. Kudos, amazing. So before we wrap up, sir, I would like to ask you one last thing. That you know me since many months now. You know my one of my mission is to make people read more, because when I started reading, it changed my life, and now I'm inspiring and helping people to read in a better way, not theoretically but practically. I'm giving them step by step reasons to read, and formulas to read. So you have seen my training also. One of the days I took a training, and I guess the feedback, fortunately the feedback was also positive. So I want to know, in your own words, what is your feedback for me? And I want honest words, so that I can grow in my life. And what do you think about me? Where am I going right, and where I can do even better? So what do you think about me and my own initiatives, all these things that I'm doing, books? Yeah.
I think Shobhit, because I have heard your story once, and I would never forget that, right? I don't remember where I heard it, Okay,
Mhm.
I think it's in one of your podcasts or uh, one of your feeds in LinkedIn. Where I can't remember exactly, but I remember
Mhm.
one thing, that
Mhm.
you have gone through such a tough time in your life, right?
Mhm.
You didn't
Mhm.
have the best of the life that anyone
Mhm.
could think of, right?
Mhm.
You and I'm not going to the details, right?
Correct.
But I
Correct.
know you had one of the toughest times,
Mhm.
and if you are able to mold yourself in
Mhm.
that circumstance to what you are right now,
Mhm.
and if you are able to continue the passion and energy that you're already showing in the community, right,
Yes, sir.
I can assure you, you soon become an inspirer, because the kind of reading that you do, the updates
Mhm.
that you're doing for yourself, and
Mhm.
your intent to make a difference in the world, in your own way.
Mhm.
And that's all what is required. Yeah, that's all what's required, and you're doing an amazing job. Trust me, you're doing an amazing job. I just want you to continue like this. And I really want a lot of young people to really kind of uh, follow people like you,
Mhm.
because young blood needs a lot of encouragement, and no better people than people at your own their own
Age.
age, right?
Yes, sir.
So keep inspiring. And I really, and you can because you are touching such a topic like reading,
Mhm.
there is no age bar for who you can impact, right? You
Correct.
can inspire a
Mhm.
9-year-old kid and 90-year-old
Mhm.
old
Yeah.
person also, because at the end of the day it's all about reading. And
Yeah.
anyone who has not done, and I mean, I am
Mhm.
one of your prospects, because I am not a voracious reader. I know
Mhm.
it's very
Mhm.
difficult. My by nature, it's not there in me to read a
Mhm.
book completely. I've never read a book completely, other than my 10th, 12th, and all this. You know,
Mhm.
forced upon reading, which
Correct.
people, I've been.
Correct.
But I'm very sure I'm being inspired from you, and one point of time it will change the what is required
Mhm.
in me to start, reading.
Correct. Correct.
And that's what that's what makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you,
So
sir.
good
Thank you
luck.
so much for
Good luck.
your kind words. In fact, the age, as you mentioned, I in my book readers club, I have my own community, paid community. I
Yeah.
have around 78 members now,
Wow.
and the youngest member, you won't believe, is a 12-year-old girl,
Oh,
and
wow.
her mother is part of the group, and she
Yeah.
was once reading her WhatsApp. She don't have a
Mm,
phone. She was reading a
mm,
WhatsApp, and she told her mother, ये reviews क्या है, what is this, people are messaging, and we read that today. So basically everyone post, I make them post what you read, give key takeaways and all that in the group.
yeah.
So she was reading that, and she was like, and she also reads, like kids read today. I'm surprised. They read not non-fiction, but at least fairy tales and all these books they read. And she was like, even I want to be part of this. So the mother told
No,
me,
it
and
is so nice,
sorry,
because see, last day
yeah,
someone was
yeah.
telling me about that person was also there in your book reading club. Okay, and yesterday I saw Pranav Sangvi, one of my very good
Okay,
friend.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he has also started doing that.
He started 2 days ago only. Yeah,
He started
yeah,
podcasting
yeah,
it, what his
yeah,
learnings are.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I mean, I can see the impact that you're already creating. So
yeah.
that's
So,
too good.
and one thing also I realize about this training industry, I'm sure you will agree, money is one factor that initially I started by, I want to have passive income and all that. But today when people, when they show some gratitude to me, even a one sentence every day I get, I'm telling you, sir, it's like it is worth lakh of rupees. When someone tells me, Shobhit, great job, thank you so much, and you changed my life. Like one of the members, Mithu Roy, he started his own podcast, Impel Books, and now he's full time doing
Mm,
it. And he got into RJ, some from Kolkata, some RJ's program also. It was his passion to get into RJ,
mm,
basically radio jockey. He wanted to be a radio jockey. He started
okay.
reviewing the books through a podcast, and he there was a
Mm,
podcast competition. He applied the
mm,
podcast Impel Books, and he got
mm.
selected in the RJ some competition. Now he's getting training, and he'll become a professional RJ now.
Wow.
I was like, from where to where it started and where it is going. It is
Yeah.
like I feel so happy when I see all this. So I think that's what main training industry gives you all that, right?
No, it
And
gives
I
a lot of
and I have
yes.
to I have to thank you for that, because a lot of the members that I have are from Scoopin, and
Mm,
it is very important to have the right mindset kind of people. I'm being very
mm,
honest. Out of 78 members, I would say 20 to 30 are completely inactive. They don't post
mm,
anything. They are not part of it. But most of them who are active are part of either a training group, or either from somewhere. So the kind of people you also have in community, I also believe that that also makes an impact. So
makes a lot of impact.
so I don't want people who are just like, just come in the
Mm.
program and not do anything. For me, engagement is also important. So I think, and I've learned from Scoopin that, through one WhatsApp, you can do so much. I used to
So
think that we need to have a platform, we need to have webinars. I can't believe that 45, and I was training, for people who don't know, I was doing the training on WhatsApp, and internationally people were attending the training. 1500 plus
mm.
trainers. There are some from Dubai, some from America, I don't know,
Correct.
and they all
Correct.
were attending. I was blown away. And
Yeah.
in Zoom call, when I take a book reading webinar, one or two people, three people will chat with me. On
Mm.
WhatsApp that day, if you remember, sir, many
Yeah.
people were like, okay, this is the
Lots.
problem, please. I was blown away with so much of interaction, and that's what your ideas come in. So because I can never think any company, any person can think of having 1500 people training on WhatsApp. That's an amazing thought that you had. Crazy thought, I would say. But as
That's a crazy thought. Yeah, that's a
it's a
crazy
crazy
thought.
thought, but as one of my
No,
mentors,
it was so crazy. It was so crazy
yeah.
that I had to lead the way by taking the first session myself to prove to others that it's possible.
Yeah. When seriously, when I in March last, I think there was a talk that we'll have a training over WhatsApp, and there will be 8 WhatsApp group. You will be taking simultaneous training, 5 6 WhatsApp videos with. I was like, what the hell is this? And but again, as many mentors, like many mentors say that Jordan Belfort is one of my mentors. He like Wolf of Wall Street, and he says that if your idea is not crazy enough, it's not going to make an
It's
impact.
not.
So
Yes,
that's
yes,
what. So
yes.
yeah. So thank you so much, Ragesh sir. It was a pleasure talking to
Yeah.
you, and I
Thank you so
cannot
much.
thank you enough. I know you have been very busy with all the initiatives, all the programs, all the company work that you're doing. Still, you managed to take 1 hour of your time, and I'm so glad that you did. And I am so lucky, and I'm so honored to be part of your community, to be getting mentored by you directly. And I'm in touch with you. I'm in contact with you. I can message you. I can call you. I'm so happy that I have the power to do that. And
Anytime, anytime,
and
anytime,
I
anytime.
and you are
I
doing.
never, I never miss a call of my
I
community.
know
Never
that. I
ever do
know that.
that.
But you are the kind of person who's congenial, who's able to, anyone can reach out to you. And again, it's your intent to help trainers like me, give us a platform, give us a training. And I'm sure that all the videos that I have on YouTube, this one is going to be the most viewed one. I'm sure of that because so many
Thank
people
you so much.
would like to hear from you, and I'm so happy that you did that. Any last thoughts, sir, before we wind up? Any last thought of the day? Anything you want to share?
So the only thing which I can probably ask every trainer or L&D members or HRs who's hearing out this thing, please log on to scoopin.com,
Correct.
create your profile, because we are there. We have big plans for the industry, right?
Correct.
We are not waiting for anything. We are not waiting for anyone. We are not waiting for some miracle to happen from the government or from any other entity. No, we have to do our job.
Correct.
If we are in mess, let's help each other to come out of it. Let's not wait for anyone to come and pull, like a missy. There's no end to it. Let's do it ourselves in our
Correct.
bit and
Correct.
join and explore, because I'm not telling that today I have all the solution for all the problems under the sun, but we will figure it out. At some
Correct.
point we have to start, right? We have begun. We have already begun. 60 people while we are talking right now, not 60 people, 75 people are creating their courses, online courses,
Yeah.
which will be going in public in Scoopin Academy, Trainers Academy, very shortly.
I'm
And
one of them. I'm very
yeah,
lucky.
you're one of them, and I'm one of them.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I'm a part of that. You're a part of that. You're all a part of that, right? I'm just doing my roles by trying to steer it. Otherwise, we're all trying to help each other and grow together, right, as a community.
Correct.
So my humble request is come and just log on to scoopin.com, SCOOPPIN.com,
Yeah.
or simply WhatsApp me. My number is so easy to remember. It's 888 000 1100.
I'll in the YouTube description I will share Scoopin LinkedIn profile and all the contacts of Mr. Menon, and you will be able to reach out to him. He's very congenial. You can always talk to him. So Ragesh sir, thank you so much. I think we are already
Thank you.
out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks everyone.